Alright, class, it's now time for our shared reading lesson. Now, all this week we've been talking about these poem adaptations, and we've done so much with this poem. We've learned about all the vocabulary in the poem, about different things, adaptations that animals have to help them stay safe. We've learned about different word styles. We've learned a lot. And today we're going to do some more with our poem. So, first, what we're going to do is I'm going to read the poem and I'd like you to copy after me. So I'll read a section and then you're gonna read the next section and we're gonna keep them that way. And then we're gonna go into looking for some sight words in our poem. We're gonna look at a vocabulary word, which is one that I think Asali was asking about. We're gonna look at a vocabulary word and then we're gonna look at a reading strategy that we can use to help us when we're reading. Alright? So let's start by reading our poem, and it's Adaptations by Ashley Schmidt. So I'm going to read a section and I want you to read a section. Okay? Hibernation, hibernation. Napping time, napping time. Sleeping for the winter. Better eat your dinner. All up, all up. Alright, now it's your turn. I would like you to read this section of the poem. Great job, friends. Now I'm going to read this section. Camouflage, camouflage. Blending in, blending in. Out in plain sight, don't want to start a fight. Just survive, just survive. Alright, friends, now I would like you to read this last section of the poem by yourselves. Are you ready? 1, 2, 3, go. Alright, great job reading, friends. Now it's time for us to find some sight words in our poem. So let's go ahead and pull it up. Alright, so the sight words that we're going to try to find today is long and just. Can you find those two words in our poem? Let's see. Alright, now let's see if you found them. Our first word, long, is right here. And it twice. We have long and then long again. Two longs. Alright, now what about just? Can you see the word just in our poem? Yes, we have two justs. Right here and here. So you have long and just. Great job, friends! If you found our two sight words in the poem, go ahead and kiss your brain. You guys did a great job finding those two sight words. Alright, now it's time for some vocabulary. So over the past couple of weeks, we've talked about hibernation, we've talked about migration, yesterday we talked about camouflage, and today we're going to talk about dormancy, which is right here. Let me write that. Let me draw that. So you see under. Alright, we're talking about dormancy today. Now, before I tell you what the word means, I would like you to think in your heads, infer. What do you think dormancy means? I'll read the poem, this section again, to help you get an idea. It says, dormancy, dormancy, long rest, long rest. Trees have lost their leaves. It's winter time, you see. Once again, once again. Alright, friends, so think in your head, what do you think, or what can you infer dormancy means, based on what we read in our poem? Go ahead and tell the computer what you think. Ooh, those are some really good guesses, friends. But let's go ahead and see. What does dormancy mean? Dormancy is... I'll do this. Dormancy means a long rest during the winter for plants. So if you're at your house and you see a tree and it has all the green leaves, what happens when it gets into the wintertime? What happens to those leaves? That's right, they fall off. And then during that time when the leaves are off of the tree, it's called dormancy. So it just basically means the tree's taking a long nap during the winter. And specifically for plants. So any plant you see that loses its leaves during the winter, that's when it enters dormancy. And then when the spring comes around, the trees start waking up, they start blooming new leaves and growing new leaves. So that's what dormancy means. Great job, friends. Now the last thing we're going to do is we are going to look at our poem to find a special skill we can use when reading. Now our skill has to do with commas. Now when we see a comma while reading, we need to take a quick breath. So that means if we're looking at our poem, I see a couple of commas. We have a comma here. I have a comma here. So if we can underline all of our commas. Be paying attention because I might miss one. We have one there. Here. 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 All right. So everywhere that you see an orange line, that is where you take a breath. So does that mean when I'm reading? That's all the commas. So when I'm reading a poem, like when I'm reading this first section, whenever I see a comma, I have to take a quick breath. So does it look like this? Does it sound like this when I take a quick breath? Hibernation, hibernation, napping time, sleeping for the winter, better eat your dinner, all up, all up. Now, did I take a breath at any point during that? No, I just read all the way through, kind of like a robot. Now, whenever you see a comma, we have to pause, take a quick breath. So let's try that together. Reading this first section. Hibernation, hibernation, napping time, napping time, sleeping for the winter, better eat your dinner, all up, all up. Great job, friends! I loved how you took quick breaths every time there was a comma. And that is an important skill to have when we're reading our different books. So whenever you see a comma in your reading, remember you have to stop and take a quick breath and then go on. Don't just read like a robot, like, my name is Callie, da 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 da. No, we need to take breaths whenever we see commas. Alright, you guys did a great job today. Now what I would like you to do is go on Seesaw and answer these two questions. First, what do you do when you see a comma? Do you keep on reading or do you take a quick breath? And then second, what does dormancy mean? So I would like you on Seesaw to video yourself explaining each of these. And if you want, for dormancy, if you want to go online and find a picture of an animal or a plant during dormancy, I would love that. That would just blow me away. Alright, friends, you guys did a great job with our reading today, and I can't wait to see you next week for the last week of school. I can't believe it. Good luck, friends. I love you. See you next week.